Hello, everyone. I went backpacking probably about a month ago, and I witnessed this beautiful mountain landscape, and not that many people get to see those mountains. Um, it's not a well-traveled trail, and it was just stunning. So I thought that I would paint it. It's a very meaningful place to me, and so I wanted to capture it on canvas. And I had this really large, long canvas that I wanted to use. It's not all that large, but bigger than what I usually paint on. So I started out by making a grid on it, measuring out the distances, and then I have an app that will put that overlay on a photo for me too. And so then when I'm sketching it out, I just kind of follow the grid line. So things are pretty accurate. It's not 100%. There is human error, but that way I get the proportions right of all the peaks and everything. And what I usually do is sketch it in an orange color. And then for the final sketch of it, I'll go over in like a dark green so that there's a contrast, because my first kind of base layer underpainting is in burnt sienna, which is an orange color. And so when I paint over it in the orange, the original orange sketch disappears, but then the green one stays. So that's kind of my process of it all. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this video of my painting process. I didn't realize how often the autofocus was shifting until I was putting this YouTube video together. I do apologize for that. And also, the lighting is kind of making those dark stripes go across the page. And they do get better, I promise. And I try to cut out any of the areas where it's focusing on my hands or anything besides the canvas, but I did the best that I could. Definitely a learning experience, but I like to start out doing the sky first. When I do landscape paintings, it's usually easier for me since it's kind of a mixture of white and blue and orange to kind of tone down the blueness of it. It kind of neutralizes it, and it gets a large part of the canvas done without a lot of thought or technicality, I would say. And so I feel a lot more accomplished once the sky is done. It's a lot less intimidating, and I just really enjoy doing it. Outlining the skyline and filling it in. I am back on day 2 of working on these paintings. I have the smaller one here, larger one there. I think I'm going to focus on the large one today, and then this one tomorrow. I just kind of want to get basic colors down on the bigger one, just so it doesn't feel so overwhelming. The sky is super easy to get done. Oh, it's an ice cream truck. Sky is super easy. You just have the skyline to work around. But the rest of it is very detailed, and there's so many cliffs and turns on the larger one that it's a bit intimidating. So I'm back in the same sweatshirt and shorts that I don't care about if they get paint on them. Yeah. I think I'm going to watch some YouTube videos, pull up my reference photo for this one, try and get the colors right and that sort of thing. I'm happy with how it looks so far, so hopefully I'll keep it going well. So hopefully it continues. So I shut the camera off because I hated the way that it was turning out. Which, at this stage, I hate every painting because it's just getting down the basic colors so you kind of just get an idea of what it's gonna look like. The problem is I cannot get the colors right. I don't have like a light tannish gray, so I have to mix it, but then I can't get the right tone, and I'm not mixing enough because I can't get that right tone, so none of it's consistent even. So I shut the camera off. Although now I feel like it's really not that bad. I kind of like the greens for the trees. I just kind of slapped down just any green that I had because green is really hard to layer for me. It's not very opaque. It's very see-through. So I figured just getting at least one layer down for that, even though it's completely the wrong color, is fine because I'm going to cover it up anyway. Yeah, I cannot get the right taupey color. Anyway, I'll show you what it looks like at this stage because nobody ever shows their art when they don't like it. day 3 of working on this painting. I think I got a good start yesterday. I was getting pretty frustrated, so once I got kind of like the basic colors down, I called it a night. I just worked on a different painting, which I think is going to help me a lot with the tones of this painting. There's not a lot of dimension in this one, and so I want to make a lot more contrast, and therefore I'm going to have to make the shadows more pronounced. And I'm going to mix a lot more paint so that I'm not like, so that I can have a bunch of different tones that will mix together really well and not feel like I'm constantly having to add more paint to my palette. Yeah, let's get started. I had mentioned that this place is very special to me, and I thought I would elaborate a little bit. One of our longtime family friends have been visiting Montana for years, since they were in their 20s, and I think they're in their 70s. And they took us on this hike that was so remote, and you have to go on these switchbacks on a bumpy dirt road. And it's a long, long trek, and it can only fit one vehicle on the road, so thankfully I have never ran into another person, but it could be definitely a little tricky passing somebody. But this hike is not terribly difficult or that long to get to this view. There have always been mosquitoes or horseflies that eat you alive, however, and so it definitely motivates you to keep moving, because every time that you stop, you get eaten alive. And once you get up to this view, it's just incredible. There's always at least a little patch of snow up there, since it is pretty high in elevation. I'm not quite sure what the number is, but it's pretty up there. And this particular part of the range doesn't get much sun, so it keeps snow there year round, even during the summer. I mentioned that I went backpacking up here, and it was such a beautiful experience. It was a pretty quick trip, but it was still really nice to be out in the mountains and so far away from civilization. It is amazing when you can go out of cell service and just unplug for a little while. I don't have the need to check my phone because it is useless, essentially, except for taking photos. I always think of my dad and our family friend whenever I do go around here or see photos, and think about how special of a place it is, because not a lot of people will see this range ever. There's also a waterfall on the way there that I made a small painting for my dad for a present one time. And again, no one will see that. Maybe a handful of people this summer, really. I've never seen another person on this trail ever, and it is such a great feeling. Just truly being in nature and not hearing or seeing or having to talk to another human being. We just want to be alone for a little while and disconnect from everything. I'm so happy that I'm making this painting so that I have a visual reminder of my family and people that are important to me. Hello everyone. So it's been a minute since I've worked on this. I did work on it yesterday and started adding the trees after kind of adjusting the tones of everything, and I'm very happy with how it's turning out. I had mentioned earlier that I hated it. It was not going well. And so I'm really excited that I've kind of fixed it and made it so I'm happy with it. There's going to be some other tweaks that I'll be doing probably, but overall, I think all that's really left is just adding all of the pine trees, which is a lot. But I might fix the skyline a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I haven't worked on it in a little while. I went home for a wedding and have been working and just tired. And when it's a piece like this and it's very detailed, it can be very hard to get started again because I know it's hard work and not a very simple painting. So I know it's going to take a significant amount of time to sit down and work on it. So that usually kind of deters me a little bit, but we're on the home stretch, I think. So, doing good. I finished my painting and I'm so excited with how it turned out. It was a lot of ups and downs of not liking it most of the time, but I think I'm happy with how it turned out. I think it's so pretty and it's very special to me. So I'm really happy that I was able to do this and finish it. It took longer than I expected just because it's so overwhelming and very detailed. It was a lot, but I know it was a bit of a longer video. So thank you for sticking around if you're here, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.